I'm so happy that the 2024 Cars diecast line is finally giving us some background road rumblers. With the amount of salt flats racers and clown cars we've gotten over the past few years, it was certainly about time we got some more characters from Road Rumblers, an episode that has some of my favorite designs in the entire series with their amazingly designed apocalyptic cars. I'm so excited that we have more this year. Before 2024, they only really focused on giving us some of the more significant ones in the episode. Jeremy, the Chiefess, Squat, McQueen, and... You know, it's a shame they never made a Road Rumbler Mater. He probably would have looked pretty good. Anyway, guys, welcome back to another review and to another 2024 Cars Diecast review. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Jason Roadkey, a background Road Rumbler from the Cars on the Road episode, Road Rumblers. I am super excited to have this guy in my collection. I have been waiting ever since the trailer for On the Road dropped to get some background Road Rumblers. I absolutely love the designs for these guys, and I'm so happy that we're finally getting some in 2024. Now, this is going to be a pretty interesting release to take a look at because, for those of you who don't know, this is something pretty infamous about Cars on the Road, but a lot of background characters on that show repurpose models of Demolition Derby cars from Cars 3, and the Road Rumblers are no exception. Several of these guys are heavily inspired by Demolition Derby cars, simply tweaking their models and changing them, and it's pretty interesting to see them adapted into diecast form, since these were clearly characters designed to be background characters first and foremost, and for the sake of cutting costs and making it easier to do, they just repurposed Demolition Derby cars designs. So it is a little awkward to have Jason here, because you can't fool me, Mattel. I know that this guy was based on Fishtail. You can see it's not the same mold as Fishtail. There are a lot of alterations to the Fishtail design, but this character very clearly used Fishtail from Cars 3 as a basis, and they modified his model from there, something that several background cars on the road did. And it's so strange to see merchandise of a character who is a different, distinct-looking character who has been altered to be turned into his own character. It's a complicated situation, and I'm sorry if you're confused from that, but it's definitely pretty interesting. We've got some really nice artwork for Jason Roadkey here. The eyes are what really gives it away, in my opinion, to the fact that his model is based on Fishtail, as well as this board on the side, which I'm surprised they didn't remove for the Fishtail repurposes. And they actually changed the back, it appears. Instead of having Fishtail's iconic, fishtail at the back, they redesigned the character to have everything flattened out. So it's not a direct copy of Fishtail, it's just a character who, in universe, uses the same car model as Fishtail, and also happens to have similar damage to Fishtail, and also the same board in the same place as Fishtail. Maybe this is Fishtail's long-lost brother. I don't know, but I really do like that artwork there. We've got the new for 2022 logo. His name, of course, is Jason Roadkey. If I say it wrong at any point, I'm very sorry. At around the same time as this character, they've released another new Road Rumbler named Justin Roadritter, and I find it so strange that Jason Roadkey and Justin Roadritter are releasing back-to-back with such similar names. They both start with J, they both have the word road as the start of their last names, they're both background Road Rumblers. It's a little awkward. On the back of the packaging, we have several cars that are out for this year with the Ghost Tractor, the Slime Deputy Hazard, President Mater, Cave Mater, the Space Creature McQueen, and the Quadratorchosaur. I've reviewed all of these except for Slime Deputy Hazard, who I unfortunately still have not been able to find. But I gotta say, I'm so glad stores here in the US are finally starting to catch up with 2024's releases. It's very exciting to finally be able to get some of these guys. So here is Jason Roadkey out of the packaging, and I probably shouldn't have thrown his card art to the side, because something I saw a lot of people talking about was the coloration of this character and how it should have been a bit more gray. Yeah, I see that. He's maybe a bit too green, but honestly, I don't really think he looks all that bad in person. Images I saw of him beforehand looked a little worse. Having him in person, I think he looks perfectly fine. It's kind of funny. The rust detailing and paint work on him honestly looks more detailed than his render, so it almost looks kind of out of place. So I wouldn't say he's like a 100% match to the source material, but I wouldn't say he's all that bad. It's not like a Doug Crankle situation where the color being off is not completely accurate. But then again, I have been officially diagnosed as color confused. So, you know, maybe these are two incredibly different colors and I just can't tell. Yeah, they definitely are pretty different. The more I look at it, like I said, this is definitely a bit more green, I guess. And I could see why somebody wouldn't like that, but honestly, I don't mind because, like I said, to me, they are a pretty close match, or close enough. Maybe could have been better, but if I were here to nitpick minor color changes from character to character, we'd be here all day, right? A lot of characters are not 100% matches, and as long as it isn't something, you know, super over the top in terms of design, super weirdly colored, then, you know, I don't really have a problem with it. What I probably have the biggest problem with this item are the eyes. The eyes are really large, and, you know, I don't know what it is with Road Rumblers having colors that are too light and eyes that are too large, but I'm getting concerned that this is starting to be a trend. No. In all honesty, I think that Jason here looks really good. I probably would have given him a different eye expression where the eyes were a bit smaller and maybe that slightly different color scheme. I mean, as you can see, the body of the car and the eyelids are not the same color. I think if the whole body were the same color as the eyelids, it would probably look better. But I really think that this is a great looking item. Honestly, pretty perfect in my opinion. I always commend Mattel ever since I switched to Thailand for just how good the rust detailing is. Thailand does such amazing rust detailing on their cars diecast, and like I said when I first unboxed this guy, he looks almost more detailed than his TV show counterpart just because of how well done that rust is. Look at that. The corrosion is amazing. It's really great. He's got his smokestacks here, of course, based on the smokestacks on Fishtail. Now, as you can see, these cars are completely unique models, but obviously very clearly based on each other, just like in the show. But Jason is a lot more detailed than Fishtail in some areas, and I do like that they made a new mold for him instead of taking Fishtails. Of course, in universe, Jason does not have the bent back that Fishtail has, so they would have to make a new mold anyway, but still, you know, I do like that they went out of their way to make him different. It's funny because Fishtail is like a more damaged version of Jason, who was already damaged. So you can see different parts of Fishtail are sort of crunched up and stuff, but a lot of things about them are pretty similar. These boards in front of the headlights, we've got the boards in the exact same place if you look closely. It looks like Jason's mirror, or sorry, not mirror, his grill is kind of bent, just like Fishtail's. But again, Jason is much more detailed. And it's so funny to see this character that is very clearly just Fishtail with a new coat of paint and some slight alterations being made in diecast form, having a separate mold from the original Fishtail, because in universe he should have a separate mold, but then still having all the exact same damage as Fishtail. This is such a paradox of an item. It's so hard to explain. The Mohawk here is surprisingly made of a pretty hard plastic instead of the typical soft plastic, but it's not all that sharp, so that is perfectly fine. You've got this board on the side. Fishtail has that board too. On him it says Wild Bill's Racing Cones, his sponsor in the Demolition Derby, of course. He doesn't have the off-road wheels, or actually, oh, never mind. He's got the exact same deal with the wheels as Fishtail. Normal wheels in the front, off-road wheels in the back, but his wheels are certainly smaller than Fishtail's and a lot more normal, less specialized and all painted up like Fishtail's are. Also, like Fishtail, we've got these boards here on the back window and the window bars. All this stuff that makes this item so unique. It's so crazy to me to see, like I already said earlier on, I just can't get over how this is basically Fishtail's model, very clearly reused, using a different diecast model. It's crazy. It's so crazy, and it's so funny to me. Anyway, it is cool to see what Fishtail's model would look like if the back weren't all crunched up. And I do like that, even though they repurposed Fishtail's model, they specifically didn't give him the Fishtail. So we could see what a normal car of that model would look like, and they removed the most distinct part about Fishtail. So, you know, I can suspend my disbelief and believe that this guy put bars on him in the exact same places as Fishtail and got his grill damaged the exact same way as Fishtail, but it was nice of them to make the back different from Fishtail. I love the corrosion on the windows. I love the corrosion everywhere. It looks like the spoiler might not actually be a spoiler and might just be like a board that he attached to the back. Are you guys getting that vibe from it? Like, it looks like these are bolts sort of bolted it on, and it looks like it's on sort of an angle. A detail that's not really on Fishtail. I guess it being on an angle is on Fishtail, so maybe he attached a board to the back as well. Speaking of boards, just like Fishtail, board in the same location. And finally, there is a look at the base. This is such an anomaly of an item. Oh, look, they even have similar bases. I love that attention to detail. That is so, so great. I love Mattel going out of their way to make a new model for a character that easily could have reused an old one. They could have reused Fishtail's model entirely for this guy, who in universe reuses Fishtail's model with changes, but they didn't. They went out of their way to design a fully new die-cast casting for this character, even though he's so similar to a pre-existing one. And I really, really respect that and appreciate that. The Cars on the Road diecast line has done that a lot, making constant new molds for new characters, and I really appreciate it. There are so many times where they could have just reused a pre-existing mold and they fully made a new one, and I absolutely love that commitment. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.